Welcome back to another installment into the Everything That Will Be Wrong in the Next OG Season series. So I'm going to go ahead and do a recap of what happened last time. In the last video, I made 38 predictions for what I thought would be wrong during this OG season. And out of those 38, I was only wrong about around 7 or 8 of them, which means I have a roughly 80% success rate. So pretty good for me, but pretty bad for everything else because that means there's still a lot wrong in the OG mode. And I have that list right over here on the second monitor that I'm not showing yet, and we're going to go ahead, for those that have not seen this series before, I'm going to go ahead and explain. What I do in these videos is I list off everything that I've found currently wrong in OG, then I go through the patch notes of the next season that's supposed to be happening, then after that I go over things, my predictions that will be wrong during the next OG season. So now, with that explanation out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so now here we are. I have managed to finally get things set up. Had a little bit of trouble while trying to get this set up earlier because I forgot how I zoomed in last time. But I've got it all put here together. You can see pretty clearly what all is on these words that I've written down. And so let's go ahead and start out. And just for this, I've added a new little addition right here, the assumed replicated version. This is the version of the game that I assume Epic Games is currently trying to replicate, and I'm basing the issues off of this version. So right now, we're on the version 4.50 content update. Starting out with the ARs. First up, the assault rifle. The reload speed is 2.53, 2.41, 2.3, 2.18, and 2.07 when it should be 2.28, 2.23, 2.18, 2.13, and 2.07. The ADS accuracy is too low. The recoil is too high. The purple and gold equip and reload sound is wrong, and the purple and gold model is incorrect. So for a couple of these things, like when I say the accuracy is too low, I'll go ahead and start playing it now. I have some video proof of a couple things in here with like accuracy, weapon models, whatnot, recoil, where I can actually show you what I'm talking about. So first things first, I'm going to be playing to you guys the accuracy differences that are in the assault rifle, and then after that I'm going to show you the model differences, because actually, hang on, I'll just let this first clip play out. So for the SCAR, it might not be very obvious that there's model differences, but you can tell it in the iron sights. Because what Epic did is they're using the Chapter 2 SCAR model, but they're using the Chapter 1 textures. So to the untrained eye, it looks fine, but if you pay close attention, you will see that differences, specifically as I mentioned in the iron sights, there's slight variation between the Chapter 1 and this current OG SCAR that they're using. Next up, we have the burst assault rifle. First shot accuracy resets too quick when firing. The recoil is too high. The gray, green, and blue equip and reload sounds have pitch variation, and the purple and gold icon and model is incorrect. I'll go ahead and play those for you right now just so you can see. Next up, we have the scoped assault rifle. The recoil for this weapon is too high, and it also uses the incorrect scope. Go ahead, play that once more. And then we have the thermal scoped assault rifle. The firing mode for the thermal AR is semi-automatic when it should just be automatic. The recoil is too high and the weapon model is incorrect. Now, this is something that I actually learned today from like AliJax, one of the main leakers for this mode. I do not actually have footage prepared right now to show the different models, but you should be able to at least see a little bit some texture differences in the recoil showcase, because I should be showing you guys the weapon models during those. And you might also see a little bit of like some weirdness happening with like the OG version and the regular version of the scoped AR, because the overlay when I took those original videos was wrong on the thermal AR, but recently, in like the most recent update, they actually fixed its scope, which was the last thing I was honestly expecting they would do. But, you know, more fixes, who am I to complain? Alright, next up we have the shotgun category. First off, before I get into any weapons, we have the general tab right here. First off, the pellet spread for every shotgun is fixed when it should be random, and I've got these little things right here that say maybe intentional, and also low tier shotguns can spawn in chests, which is also maybe intentional. Now the thing right here, you probably wouldn't know about this, but I'll try and show a couple pictures right here because it's definitely something that you might not be able to notice initially, but spread with pellets on shotguns used to be just completely random rather than just being fixed how they are now, because right now whenever you're using shotgun and you like want to try and count the pellets by like shooting at a wall and counting them, you see that it always shows the same pattern. But back in the day, it was completely random how the pellets would exit the shotgun, which is a huge quality of life change that happened a while back, and I'm not mad that it's like not how it was, but I'm still saying that it's an issue that they have not clarified whether or not is intentional. Now moving on to the pump shotgun. All stats except the damage are one rarity too high. The equip speed is 0.416 seconds when it should be 0.566 seconds. The pumping sound has pitch variation. The shell reload sound is wrong, and it has a max damage cap of 199 on all rarities. I'll go ahead and play the examples of the equip speed and also all the stats being a little bit wrong. You'll see like on the left and right sides, there's like very slight variations in accuracy, and just so you know that I'm not messing with you guys, I did use the same rarity for each comparison of each weapon, so you have a little bit of security there knowing that I'm not like fucking around with y'all. Now we move on to the tactical shotgun. The blue rarity structure damage is 75 when it should be 55, and the purple rarity can still be found in vending machines. This was not supposed to ever be possible during this season, but I don't know, they're just kind of forgetting stuff. Now we got the heavy shotgun. It fires 10 pellets when it should only be 5. Its max range is 72 meters when it should be 40. It cannot pierce players. The firing mode is automatic when it should be semi-auto, and the hollow sight on the weapon is green when it should be orange. I don't know how this happened, but I guess it did. Let's just go ahead and move on. We're going on to the submachine guns. We got the TAC SMG. The structure damage is 18, 19, and 20 when it should be 16, 17, and 18. Its damage range is from 20 to 40 meters when it should be from 24 to 50 meters. The minimum damage is 45% when it should be 65%. The equip animation the equip animation is wrong. The reload sound is wrong, and the firing sound when the gun is near empty is missing. I'll go ahead and play the equip animation comparison for you guys right now. And then next up, we have the suppressed submachine gun. The recoil is higher than it should be. The damage range is from 20 to 40 meters, when it should be from 28 to 275 meters. The minimum damage is 45% when it should be 75%, and the equip and reload sound is wrong. So I'll go ahead and play the recoil thing for you guys right here. And our final SMG for now is the drum gun. Its damage range is from 20 to 40 meters when it should be from 24 to 50 meters. The minimum damage is 45% when it should be 65%, and the mag insert sound plays too early. Now let's go ahead, move on to the pistols. First up is the semi-auto pistol. The weapon name is incorrect, it should just be the pistol. The equip animation is wrong, and the equip and reload sound is wrong. Go ahead and play the equip animation for you guys. And now we move on to the suppressed pistol. The equip animation is wrong, and it's pretty much just the same as the semi-auto pistol and attack SMG. I'll still go ahead and play it just so you can see it. And now we move on to the revolver. First off, it has the incorrect firing animation, and this is once again a thing that I didn't really show off, but I'll go ahead and do a live demonstration for you guys in the physical element. So the revolver's firing animation, it uses the one that I got during like Season X, which is like the one where it goes, you hold the revolver and it's like just kind of quickly returns back to set, because they updated the fire rate from 0.9 to 1.5, so it would make sense for its firing animation to look like this, but back when it had the slow 0.9 fire rate, the animation looked kind of like this, so you had to like actually pull the gun back up and just kind of cock it back before you could actually fire again. So, and then moving on from that, the damage range is 35 to 100 meters when it should be 35 to 85 meters, and the max range is 250 meters when it should be 275 meters, except the hand cannon's damage range is from 35 to 100 meters when it should be from 35 to 85 meters, and the dual pistols, my dear wonderful viewers, this might very well be the only weapon in OG that has nothing wrong with it. Shocking. Now, we are into the sniper category right now. First off, we got the bolt action sniper. The reload speed is 3, 2.5, and 2.35 when it should be 3, 2.85, and 2.7. The equip and reload sound is wrong. The reload animation is wrong. More specifically, for some reason, the different rarities have different reload animations. The blue bolt action sniper uses the heavy sniper reload animation, while the purple and gold bolt use the chapter 2 reload animation, and I am forgetting a closing parenthesis right here. Good thing I fixed that now. Next up, the snipers have the incorrect scope, and it shows the reticle while it's hip firing. Go ahead and just showcase those for you guys right now. And now we have the semi-auto sniper rifle right here. The damage is 75 and 78 when it should be 63 and 66. The structure damage is 75 and 78 when it should be 63 and 66. It has the incorrect scope. The ADS zoom is not zoomed in enough, and it shows its reticle while hip firing. I'll go ahead and just show those off for you real quick. And now the final sniper, the hunting rifle. It has the incorrect weapon icon, and the sprinting accuracy is too low, and I'll go ahead and show that off once again. Next up, we have the explosives. First, starting with the rocket launcher. The structure damage is 300, 315, and 330 when it should be 375, 394, and 413. The purple and gold rarity fire the Chapter 2 rocket model. For some reason, I have no clue how that would have happened, and the firing sound is incorrect. Next up, the grenade launcher. The structure damage is 200, 210, and 220 when it should be 375, 394, and 413, and the grenade projectile sounds are also incorrect. Next up, we got the guided missile. The structure damage is 315 to 330 when it should be 1100 for all rarities. The fire rate is 0.75 when it should be 1.33. The hitbox for the rocket is incorrect, and the missile also shows up on the map. And I'm now remembering there's something that I forgot to mention here. I know the equip sound effect for the guided missile is now missing, because for a while the rocket launcher's equip sound was also missing, but then they fixed this, but in turn, for some reason, the guided missile's equip sound is also now missing. So now, I guess, I'm glad I'm mentioning it here, because I completely forgot to put that down in here. Next up, go ahead, let's move on to the other weapons. Going on to the minigun. The standing still, walking, running, and aiming accuracy is too low, and the hip firing accuracy is too high. It is able to overheat, which it wasn't able to do until Season 7, and the starting ammo for The starting ammo stack whenever you find one from a chest or on floor loot is 24 when it should be 90. I'll go ahead and play those accuracy things for you now. And now we got the light machine gun. Its base accuracy is way too high. The sustained firing accuracy is too low, its recoil is too high, and the weapon model's stand does not sway whenever you're walking. For those of you that remember, back during Chapter 1, the stand on the LMG whenever you were running, it used to sway back and forth whenever you would run, and it was really cool because it was like just a cool little attention to detail. But now, that doesn't happen anymore, which really sucks. It was really cool, but I don't know. I guess they just... Actually, I have no clue how that happened. I'm just going to go ahead and play the accuracy thing for you guys right now. Now, we move on to utility items. First up with the grenade, the stack size is 6 when it should be 10, the weapon model is incorrect, and its sound effects are incorrect. Impulse grenade, the stack size is 9 when it should be 8. The remote explosive, the damage is 100 when it should be 70. Structure damage is 300 when it should be 800. The detonation sound is incorrect. The time between consecutive explosions is 0.5 seconds when it should be 0.175 seconds. The time between throwing charges is 1 second when it should be 0.15 seconds. It cannot be detonated mid-air. Stack size is 6 when it should be 10. It uses the incorrect sound effects. It beeps whenever you place it. The placed model has a weird black circle underneath it, which is probably something to do with like the current C4 and regular standard like creative, I guess. And the item model on the ground is way too big. Next up for clingers, the stack size is 6 when it should be 10, and the structure damage is 125. When it should be 200. Next for portaforts, the stack size is 2 when it should be 5, and they build instantly when they should only build over time. I'll go ahead and play a video demonstration of how that works, because back during, I'll say, like, yeah, back before the portafortress got added, the portafort needed to slowly build up like it were a regular structure being placed down. It wasn't built instantly. Next up, we have the bush. It is translucent, it can block a shot, and it just generally doesn't work properly most of the time. Like, half the time whenever you put this thing on, if you get shot by it, it doesn't go away, and then other times when it has the coating to block a bullet, it doesn't block the bullet. And I don't know, this thing just really does not work most of the time. And now finally, in the utility items, we have stink grenades. The stack size is 6 when it should be 5, and it uses the incorrect sound effects. And now let's move on to healing items. First, starting with a small shield potion, the stack size is 6 when it should be 10, and uses the incorrect model. For the shield potion, the stack size is 3 when it should be 2, it heals over time and uses the incorrect model. Now we have the slurp juice, the healing rate is 0.33 seconds when it should be 0.5 seconds. The activation time is 25 seconds when it should be, the active time is 25 seconds when it should be 37.5 seconds, and the item model on the ground is too small. Next up for the Chug Jug, this is also one of the few things in this mode that possibly has nothing wrong with it. Next for bandages, we have the incorrect model. For the medkit, we have heals over time and use the incorrect model. And now for apples, these are another thing that have nothing wrong with them possibly. And for mushrooms, this is a recent change. For some reason, Epic decided to make them heal for 10 shield instead of 5, like they used to. Now moving on, we have traps right down here. We got the damage trap. It uses the incorrect sound effects, and friendly traps do not have the blue tint on them like they should. Next up, Cozy Campfire. They can be stoked and relit, and that also goes for environmental campfires. Those can also be stoked and relit. Next are launch pads. There is nothing wrong with these as well. And for bouncers, the bounce is way too strong. So strong, in fact, that the old bouncer launch pad technique from eons ago no longer works, which is really unfortunate. Next, we have vehicles for the shopping cart. The health is 550 when it should be 400, and it has the incorrect handling. I also didn't get footage for this, but if you think about how shopping carts used to be, and you compare them to how they handle in like the current OG, they're not as like movable. Like, especially you notice this mid-air, they don't have very good like turning radius when you're mid-air. Like, I don't know what else to say other than like, watch old videos of content creators using the shopping cart and then compare it to how the shopping cart feels now. You'll get what I mean. Now we move on to supply drops. The balloon health for supply drops is 25, 50, and 250, 500, and 750 in solos, duos, and squads, when it should be 500, 750, and 1250 in those respective game modes. And they can spawn some purple weapons. Some purple things I've noticed them spawning are purple explosives and also the LMG. Next, moving on to supply llamas, there can be 10 spawning per game when it should only be 3. They drop 500 of each material when it should be 200 of each material, and they can spawn rocket ammo. Next, for vending machines, they are half price and they have a 100% spawn rate, which, I'll be real, probably intentional, and I should also probably note that along with the half price. Next up for building, a general thing for building, material drop size is 30 when it should only be 20. Next, moving on, we have wood. Wood wall initial health is 90 when it should be 100, the wall max health is 150 when it should be 200, and health generation is 8 per half second when it should be 13. Now for brick walls, the wall initial health is 99 when it should be 90, and for metal, the initial health is 110 when it should be 80, the max health is 500 when it should be 400, and the health generation is 8 per half second when it should be 9. Next up, we have ammo down here. The stack size of all ammo except for rockets should be 999, and light ammo's drop size is in 20 when it should be 18. And now, the storm. This is a change that happened very recently, but I am very happy about it. The storms in OG are no longer the same as how they were when they were updated in Chapter 5. Can I get a round of applause for that, everybody? Let's go. However, despite that, they're still not completely accurate, which is why I wrote down here, behavior is slightly different from Chapter 1, but it's so much better than Chapter 5 zones that I will just take it. I am honestly very happy that they did what they did. And also, the storm clouds are too high. If I recall, the specific difference, or the specific thing that's wrong with them, is that the clouds are 28,000 units too high. I don't know, dude. And now we have the final things down here, miscellaneous things that didn't really fit, that I didn't really think fit into anywhere else. First off, the overall UI is inaccurate. Bots are enabled, skill-based matchmaking is enabled. They have attempted to stop purple and gold weapons from spawning on the floor, but it doesn't seem to work very often because I still do sometimes find like purple scars on the ground here and there, purple miniguns, stuff like that. And also, this is a pretty huge bug that I recently discovered from like Forsaken on Twitter. Floor loot is 3 times more likely to spawn nothing than it should be, because in OG, apparently a single material spawn and also ammo only spawns are blacklisted from being put into the floor loot, but they haven't like adjusted it properly. So instead of like replacing the material only or ammo only spawn, it just spawns nothing, which is a pretty big issue and really reduces the amount of overall loot that is on the map. And next up, the background for OG is shifted slightly to the right. Pickaxe damage is 20 when it should be 10. Pickaxe damage multiplier against structures is 1.5 when it should be 0.9. Infinite rifts and ziplines are enabled in build mode. And finally, the most egregious thing, the devs for OG have given up on weekly updates. So, in Season 1 and Season 2, we used to get these new items that they were introducing. We used to get them added weekly. However, starting in Season 3, what the OG devs have done now is that rather than doing weekly updates, they give us our starting loot pool items, and then halfway through the season, they drop everything else, which completely kills the content flow within OG. And it's really sad to see just how much these devs seemingly just don't care. But I can't say that much because in general, we did get a couple good fixes, like for example the storm, but still, weekly updates still, they've gotten rid of them, and I'm really hoping with how much attention they've given to us now, that they might have changed their minds, and they'll actually give us weekly updates during Season 5, which is, I believe, probably one of the most popular seasons from Chapter 1. Now, finally, getting all the issues out of the way, we go over the Season 5 patch notes, starting with version 5.0. First, we gotta talk about the shotgun changes. Shotguns will now indicate how many pellets hit a player. The spread pattern is no longer random. They added shotgun swap delay, and they changed the heavy shotgun to now fire 10 pellets. The hunting rifle's aim assist now matches other snipers. They reduced the knockback from explosives against vehicles. C4 can no longer be detonated mid-air. The TAC SMG and Silence SMG structure damage now matches the player damage. The Silence SMG's damage ranges were reverted back to how they were from like before version 4.50, so that would be, they reduced the range from 28 to 275 to 24 and 50 meters, and the minimum damage was reduced from 75% to 65%. They added ATKs in this update, they added the desert biome, they killed Anarchy Acres, they added the Viking Mountain, they added rifts, and they added moving zones to circles 7, 8, and 9. Next up, we have the version 5.0 content update. They added the new submachine gun, the MP5 model, they vaulted the TAC SMG, and they increased the semi-auto sniper's damage from 63 and 66 to 75 and 78. And now we have version 5.10. In my opinion, this is probably the first update where Epic Games started smoking crack. Let's go ahead and get into that real quick. First off, we have the Fortnite birthday event. They added the compact SMG. They updated the slurp juice to give it the buff that it already got during OG Season 1, back when there was like no healing. And they also changed supply drop weapon, they changed supply drop loot rates. So I don't feel like saying all of this. You can read through it if you want. I'll leave it here for a couple seconds. Anyways, go ahead and scroll back down here. They nerfed building in this update. They nerfed wood wall starting health to 80 from 100. Stone wall is down from 80. Stone wall is down to 80 from 90. The wood wall max health is down to 150 from 200. The metal wall max health is up to 500 from 400. And the metal wall build time is up to 25 from 20 seconds. And they also did a couple of storm circle changes. Also don't feel like reading these out. I'll leave them here for like about 5 seconds for you to read it, and then I'll move on. And also the final update of this is they increased pickaxe damage to player builds from 0.9x to 1.5x. And now, this right here, I believe is one of the first emergency nerfs in Fortnite history. One day after version 5.10, they hit the submachine gun, the compact SMG, and silence SMG with some heavy nerfs. First off, for the submachine gun, they reduced the ADS accuracy bonus from 35% to 15%. They reduced the damage from 19, 20, and 21 to 17, 18, and 19. They reduced the fire rate from 13 to 12. They reduced the damage ranges from 24 to 50 meters to 20 and 40 meters. They reduced the minimum damage from 65% to 40%. And they reduced the spawn rate of the rare variant. Next up, for the compact SMG, The ADS accuracy bonus reduced from 35 to 15. They reduced the damage from 23 and 24 to 21 and 22. They reduced the fire rate from 11 to 10. They reduced the damage ranges from 24 and 50 meters to 20 and 40 meters. They reduced the min damage from 65% to 40%. And they reduced the spawn rate of the overall, just the weapon, all the rarities. And now for the Silence SMG, they reduced the damage ranges from 24 and 50 meters to 20 and 40 meters. And they reduced the min damage from 65% to 40%. So this pretty much put all the SMGs currently in the game into the state that they are now. At least the Chapter 1 ones. Next up, we have the version 5.10 content update. This unvaulted and nerfed the guided missile. They reduced the lifetime from 18 seconds to 15 seconds. They reduced the movement speed from 1100 to 1000. They increased the reload time from 2 and 1.9 seconds to 2.4 and 2.2 seconds. They reduced the damage from 105, 110 to 74 and 77. They reduced the structure damage from 1100 to 400. They changed the explosive damage type to proximity rather than just line of sight, and the rocket can now be controlled using WASD on the keyboard. Next up, version 5.20. They added the double barrel shotgun, and they also buffed vending machines a little bit, reducing the cost by 25%, just lowering the spawn rates of the lower tier ones and increasing the spawn rates of the higher tier ones, and they also reduced the chance of vending machines not spawning from 54% to 26%. That's ridiculous. That is absurd. Why were they like that? Next up, they reduced the C4 drop and stack size from 4 and 10 to 3 and 6. They reduced the jumping and sprinting accuracy for dual pistols, submachine guns, and a hunting rifle. The grenades now have a new equip sound. They added vehicle tricks in this update, and all grenade items now have new equip and holding animations. And now, another emergency update. 2 days after version 5.20. We have some building buffs. They increased the wood wall health on placement from 80 to 90, increased brick wall health on placement from 80 to 100, and they increased metal wall health on placement from 80 to 110. They nerfed the compact SMG once again. They reduced its damage from 22 and 21 to 21 and 20, and they reduced the magazine size from 50 to 40. And then we have the first ever nerfs to the drum gun. They reduced its min damage from 65% to 55%. They added structure damage fall off. They reduced the jumping accuracy by 5%. They reduced ADS accuracy by they reduced ADS accuracy by 10%, and they reduced the spawn rate by 40%. Next up, version 5.21, they added the heavy sniper, and they reduced the minigun's headshot multiplier from 2.5 to 1.5. Then, version 5.30, they added the Rift to Go, they added Tomato Temple, they reduced the pump shotgun's equip time from 0.96 seconds to 0.88 seconds, and you see right here I have a note that just says, I don't know where they got this from. It did not take nearly this long to equip ever, as I previously stated in my things that were currently wrong right here. Let me just go ahead and scroll back up. I said, these are the equip speeds. This right here, I have no clue how they got this timing from. This is just inaccurate completely. Anyway, moving on. They increased the double barrel shotgun's crouching accuracy by 15%. Clingers will no longer immediately explode once the structure that they stick to breaks. They increased the impulse grenade stack size from 8 to 9. Bouncers now need line of sight on a player to trigger, and now probably my favorite line in any patch notes, Whiteout Outfit now has 100% more neck. Epic Games? What do you mean by that? Next up, the version 5.30 content update. They added shockwave grenades in this update. And now version 5.40, they added the grappler. They vaulted revolvers, the gray silence SMG, the blue RPG, the gold bolt, and the blue pistol. They increased the purple and gold RPG spawn rates from 0.11 and 0.03% to 0.73% and 0.1%. They increased the C4 rarity from blue to purple. They reduced the Port-a-Fort rarity from purple to blue. They reduced the dual pistol rarity from purple and gold to blue and purple. They reduced the silence pistols rarity from purple and gold to blue and purple. They reduced the semi-auto snipers rarity from purple and gold to blue and purple. And they increased the semi-auto sniper spawn rate from 1.22 and 0.13% to 2.06 and 0.96%. Next up, we have some burst AR accuracy changes. The first 2 bursts are more accurate when holding the trigger, whatever that means. They increased the ADS accuracy bonus from 35% to 40%. They reduced the crouching accuracy bonus from 25% to 20%. They reduced the jumping and falling accuracy penalty from 25% to 10%, and they reduced the sprinting accuracy penalty from 50% to 30%. They increased the boogie bomb drop size from 1 to 2. They increased the stink bomb stack size from 5 to 6. They increased the big pot stack size from 2 to 3, and moving zones will now destroy player structures when they close. One day after version 5.40, moving zones will no longer destroy player structures when they close. And now we have the final two updates of Season 5. The version 5.40 content update, they added the Silent Scar, and they vaulted the drum gun. Next, version 5.41, the final addition to Season 5, they added the Porta Fortress. So now, that is everything that happened during Season 5. So let's go ahead and move on to things that will be wrong in the next season. Well, as per usual, I have these split up between definitely and probably. And I will go ahead and say now, this is the most amount of predictions I have had in any video thus far. So let's go ahead and get into it. First off, for definitely, the scoped AR scope will not change, the pump shotgun's equip speed will not change, the heavy shotgun's sight will not change, the silenced SMG sound effects will not change, the pistol, silenced pistol, and tac SMG equip animation will not change, the pistol sound effects will not change, the revolver's firing animation will not change, the sniper scopes will not change, snipers will not have their hipfire reticles removed, the bolt reload animations will not be fixed, the semi-sniper's zoom modification will not be fixed, the semi-sniper's damage will not be fixed, the hunting rifle's icon will not change, all explosive weapons and item sounds will not change, the guided missile will keep showing up on the map, and by this specifically I mean the missile that, like, when you fire it, it shows up on the minimap. That's not getting removed. The minigun overheat will not be removed, the LMG stand will not sway, unfortunately, item max stacks will not change, the grenade model will not be fixed, the C4 model size will not be fixed, the timing variables for C4 will not change, the bush will not change, healing item models will not be fixed, the big pot and medkit healing over time will not change, campfire stoking and relighting will not be removed, shopping carts will not be fixed, supply drop balloon health will not be supply drop balloon health will not change, supply drops will not stop spawning purple weapons, vending machine spawn rates will not change, player structures will not change, ammo stacks will not change, storm will not be fully fixed, but at this point I can't really complain about what they did because it's just so much better than how it used to be. Storm cloud height will not be fixed. Let's go ahead and just start scrolling down now. The UI will not be fixed. Bots and skill-based matchmaking will not be removed from core OG. Shotguns will not stop spawning in chests. The background for OG will not be fixed. The pickaxe damage will not change. The infinite rifts and ziplines will not be removed from build mode. Weekly updates will not return. Storm structure destruction will not be added. And the whiteout outfit will not receive 100% more neck, as much as I wanted to. What now? We move on to the probably tier. AR stats will not be fixed. AR model will not be fixed. Burst AR model will not be fixed. Burst AR sound effect pitch variation will not be removed. Pump shotgun sound effect pitch variation will not be removed. Pump shotgun max damage cap will not be removed. Blue tac structure damage will not be changed. Heavy shotgun piercing will not be fixed. Heavy shotgun will remain automatic. All SMG damage ranges will not change. All SMG min damage will not change. Silenced SMG recoil will not be fixed. The revolver damage range will not change. The deagle damage range will not change. The hunting rifle's sprinting accuracy will not change. The bolt sound effects will not change. The guided missile changes will not be applied correctly. The minigun accuracy will not be fixed. The LMG accuracy will not be fixed. The LMG recoil will not be fixed. The slurp juice will not be fixed. Spike trap VFX and sound effects will not be fixed. The bouncer will not be fixed. The total llama count per match will not change. Materials dropped from llamas will not change. Material drops will not be nerfed. Vending machines prices will not change. Floor loot will not be fixed. SMG and compact SMG stats will not be accurate to how they were released. The supply drop loot tables will not change. The random accuracy nerfs, the hunting rifle, the dual pistols, and the SMG will not happen. Shockwave grenades will be used the wrong sound effects. A lot of things that are meant to get vaulted mid-season will not get vaulted, and the burst AR will not receive its accuracy buffs. That is now everything I predicted that will be wrong in OG. Once again, as per usual with these videos, making a bet with all of you, if I am wrong about at least 2 of the things that are in the definitely section, or if I am wrong about at least 6 of the things in the probably section, then you guys will be getting a battle pass gifted from me, and that is up to 2 that can be given away. So at least 2 things wrong here indefinitely, that's 1 battle pass, and if at least 6 things are wrong and probably, that's another battle pass for you guys. Stakes are pretty high for me. I'm gonna lose $10 maybe, but yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, use my new and updated creator code that no longer uses my dead name, and yeah, that's it. See ya.